Hi, Sally Walker here, your hormone and slow age expert. So what's this about infrared rays, especially the near infrared rays as we call it? What's it all about? What's this noise about? Yes. Well, infrared rays are very, very important, especially the near infrared. And actually, the body has never been exposed to the visible light and the ultraviolet lights without having the near infrared rays as part of the package, okay? So sunlight provides all of these amazing, very important electromagnetic wavelengths or rays or light or whatever we want to call it, okay? So with the development or the evolution of mankind and us being more inside than outside, and the use of the electric light bulb, which has also changed radically the last 50 years, we now have a situation where we have monopolized the visible light section, because then we can work longer and sleep less. Is that good? I'm not quite sure about that. But the challenge with this is that we also get less of the near infrared rays. And the near infrared rays are very important, especially for something in particular called the production of melatonin. So many of you have heard of melatonin and think about it being produced in the pineal gland in the brain, which it is, absolutely. And this supplies what we call circulatory melatonin. So this will be sent out through the bloodstream and can be measured in that way. But we also have what we call subcellular melatonin production, and this is produced in the mitochondria, and it is produced in response to the near infrared rays, which penetrate the skin and go deep into the cells of the body. So isn't that interesting? So they will produce, they being the mitochondria, will produce near infrared rays all day long when the sun is sending light, yes? And this is good because the mitochondria produce ATP, energy currency, but they are responsible, or in that production, we will also produce free radicals. So the mitochondria, for their own health purposes, do need a very sort of constant supply of antioxidants. And melatonin is one of the body's most powerful antioxidants. So all day long, where they're producing lots of energy, and we're much more active when it's light, obviously, they're producing lots more free radicals, but the near infrared rays are helping them also produce melatonin, so we can deactivate these free radicals being produced. Isn't that interesting? So that's good, but we're not outside in the sunshine very much. This is a challenge, isn't it? So we're not getting the rays from the sunlight. Now, until about 50 years ago, we were actually getting the near infrared rays from the light bulbs that were designed, and they have a very special name called incandescent. Today we're using LEDs, and before then we were also using the fluorescent. Now the fluorescent do actually produce a little bit, but the LEDs do not. So, and the windows, the glass in the windows today are also blocking the near infrared rays. So we're actually creating like little caves where near infrared rays are not found, they're not being produced, or they're not being emitted. So near infrared ray free caves, if you like. We call them office buildings, or we call them our homes, especially the office buildings. So that's not a good idea, is it? Because they are so important. So remember what I said earlier, that never in man's existence have we been exposed to visible light rays, ultraviolet light rays, without infrared rays. But because of technology and because of science, we have been able now to divide all these things up. We can keep the UVB rays out for the glass, and we can keep the infrared rays out, and we can just focus on that visible light section so people can work longer, kind of thing. But maybe we're setting ourselves up for a lot of problems long term because the mitochondria are not being protected. And if your mitochondria don't function, then nothing functions basically, because you're not going to be producing very much energy. So I did do a blog, didn't I, called Minding Your Mitochondria, or Minding and Mending Your Mitochondria. So be sure to check that blog out if you want to know more about mitochondria. But check this blog out, which is all about sunlight. Check it out for all the different information about the different sun rays. I've got the UVBs there, got the visible light with all its colours and how the colours affect us. So be sure to check these things out. But remember, we need to get the near infrared rays. This is very, very essential. So be careful which light bulbs you're using, and make sure you're out in the sunshine as many hours as possible. You can put your sun creams on, you can put your clothes on, because these rays do penetrate all the way through, so no problem with that. So don't worry about the sunburn. You should worry about it. You should be concerned about not being sunburned. But the infrared rays you need, absolutely. And they go straight through the sun creams and straight through the clothes into your mitochondria and protecting them from free radical oxidative stress. Happy hormones, happy life.